Wish that you were better.
On the cloud. Joel,
Nice.
let's just get started right away.
Awesome. We have way too much prepared for you guys to go slowly today, so we're going to have to move fast. Does that sound good, guys? If you're ready to go fast, jump right in, drop a 1 below. And if you've missed, I'm going to just say it one time. If you've missed any of the replays at this point, what we're teaching is probably not going to make sense. So if you're jumping into the first day today, definitely go back, check out all the replays as soon as we're done to get all caught up. I really do believe this is one of the best workshops I've ever done because we've taken our time and covered everything one day at a time in a chronological order. So highly recommend you go back and watch the replays. With that in mind, today is probably one of the days you've all been waiting for. We're going to start setting some appointments. And a lot of you guys here have already have an agency, already have a niche, already have an offer. You're just like, Joel, Paulson, I need more appointments to get more clients. Who here needs more appointments in their agency? Who wants to get those appointments for free so that you don't have to pay Mark Zuckerberg and then he shuts you down yet again? Who's tired of all the ad accounts getting shut down, by the way? As a quick little side note, I know I am. With that in mind, today we're going to cover organic prospecting, AKA how to get booked appointments for free. Now, let me pull up the slides. We got a lot prepared for you guys. Here's what we're going to cover. First, I'm going to give you guys some warnings. I think it's really important to start out with some organic prospecting warnings. We're going to go over the 3.5 types of outreach messages to send out. There's 3.5 specific types of messages you can send to get appointments. We're also going to go over the exact script that I created for you guys and for this specific workshop to help us promote the offer that we came up with 2 days ago. So I'm going to give you guys the exact script that I personally wrote to help you guys get booked appointments. We're going to talk about where and how to send the messages once we have a script ready to go. We're also going to go over the 2 biggest hacks to making this work. I'm going to say making this work better. I like that. We're going to go over 2 bonuses for you guys. Who wants my proven follow-up messages? Give me a show of hands. These are messages that I share with my clients who pay me thousands of dollars for these advanced trainings. I'm going to be hooking you guys up with all of my follow-up messages. And last but not least, Paulson, I know you're in our client group. How many people were sending out the Black Friday script that I created and getting so many freaking appointments? It was
crazy. I couldn't
insane.
keep up. I couldn't keep up with your screenshots, bro. It's crazy.
Well, guys, we're going to take the script that I personally gave all of my private clients to help them get booked appointments before the end of the year for the special times we have, like Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then the next promotion is going to be a holiday promotion. I'm going to give you guys that exact script as a bonus, just to over deliver for you guys, just to hook you guys up. It has nothing to do with the organic prospecting because it is more to send to your existing leads. So this is not a message that you would send out to new leads. But if any of you guys here have people in your pipeline that haven't said yes to you, this message is going to get you booked appointments. And I can practically guarantee it. If you have prospects in your pipeline, you're going to get booked appointments through that script. Who here has some prospects to follow up with that haven't said yes? Cool. Then even that alone is going to be worth this entire workshop, which is free. So with that in mind, here we go. If you guys love all the over delivering, drop one final one in the chat and let's freaking go. Let me just share my screen. All right, here we go. Organic prospecting warnings. I'm going to fly through these. It's going to take more time. If you do something like paid ads and you put in $100 to get in front of 1,000 people, you're trading money for time. And if you're doing organic prospecting, you're trading time for money. If it's free, you're going to have to spend time to be able to reach the same number of people as you would have with paid ads. So I do want to give you guys the warning. You're never going to get this viral effect from organic prospecting the way that you would from turning on a paid ad and all of a sudden you wake up with 10 booked appointments the next day. It's just not going to happen. And I want to be very clear about that. Unless you have some crazy way to reach thousands of people overnight, every single day, organically for free, it's not going to happen. So it's going to take more time than pretty much any other method out there. And again, as a friendly reminder, if you don't want to invest money, there's always something that's got to give, time or money. So in this case, if you want to get free appointments, you're going to have to trade time. Does that make sense? Whoops. Does that make sense, guys? If it does, give me a show of hands or a thumbs up. Cool. Sweet. Next up, volume is king. So
Hey,
for example,
Hey Joel, real quick, can you zoom in a little bit more on your
sure.
slides? Just go up to like maybe 100 and see that little right under insert? Yeah, just go up just a little bit more.
Already yet. Nope. No.
Or just go just do fit to the screen if that works. Yeah,
good.
there you go. That's good. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for that heads up. Next up, volume is king. So guys, the goal with organic prospecting is to try to recreate the power of paid ads. So for example, let's say with paid ads, I put in $100, I get in front of 1,000 people. Your goal with organic prospecting is to try to replicate your ability to get in front of 1,000 people. So the way that we do that is through more volume. I did want to mention that. Volume is king. Also, test. Scripts are like niches. There's no perfect one, okay, guys? There's no perfect script. And if there is one, it's going to die out at some point. So you have to constantly be testing new things and trying out new messages, and also be aware that every single niche is different, which means that whatever script you download from people like me or people like Paulson or whoever else out there that's sharing a script with you guys, you have to keep in mind that it's going to die out and it might not work for your niche. It doesn't mean that what they're giving you is wrong. It just means that you need to shift your mindset around how you approach writing your outreach messages. It's about testing new things, taking the framework and innovating on it. So as I've been saying since day one, my goal here with you guys is to give you what you need, not what you want. So we are going to give you some scripts, but I'm also going to teach you why they work so that you can then take the framework of everything you're learning and then make your own scripts. That way, instead of being a copy and paste entrepreneur, you're an actual innovator. Everyone wants to copy and paste their way to 7 figures. It's not going to happen. You can't just be like, oh, what's the script that's going to take me there? You have to take the frameworks and the principles that most other gurus out there aren't willing to teach you, and then think on your own to come up with your own script for your niche, given where the marketplace is at. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But really important, no matter what I give you today, you're going to have to test some more. Like I said, perfect scripts are like perfect niches. They don't exist. There's no such thing as a perfect niche. Every niche has its pros and cons. There's no such thing as a perfect script. Each script has its pros and cons. If I send someone a question saying, hi, can I ask you a quick question? I'm going to get a 100% response rate, or I'm going to get a really, really high response rate. The downside is that I'm not actually placing an offer in front of them. And the moment I transition to a pitch, they're going to be caught off guard. Whereas if I say to someone, hey, I'm reaching out to you because I want to send you 10 appointments for free. Let me know if you want more info. I'm being very direct with my message. I'm going to get way less responses, a lot less responses, but the ones I do get are going to know exactly what I'm offering them. So there's no such thing as a perfect script. I want to make that clear. And it's about taking the frameworks that you learned today and then making them your own. Also, I want to be clear. This would be like a 10-hour workshop if we went through every single prospecting channel. If I showed you guys LinkedIn and cold email and direct messaging there's way too much to cover. So my goal today is to give you guys exactly what you need to take the first step, and just know that there's a lot more that you can continue to dive into as you master each prospecting channel. Also, one of the biggest mistakes I see when it comes to doing prospecting is that they forget to follow up. For example, I had someone yesterday in our coaching program ask me, Joel, I'm personalizing the messages. Why am I not getting responses? And we actually looked at the messages, and the person was opening them and reading them, which tells me that they have their attention, and you've captured their attention. They're just waiting for a reason to say yes and respond back. So you got to keep following up. A lot of you guys aren't doing that. Also, quick little technical thing, you have to have a clear opt-out if you're doing cold outreach. For example, if you do a text blast and you don't let people opt out, that's illegal. Pretty sure it is. Just wanted to throw that in there so that I don't get into trouble, guys. But just do your research, make sure you're compliant in your outreach. And then the last warning for you guys, everyone wants to pitch over Messenger because it feels easier. You don't have to actually have a face-to-face conversation over Zoom or pick up the phone and call someone, which is scary. But again, we have to keep in mind everything I talked about on day one. Your brain is always trying to protect you and do what's more comfortable instead of helping you do what's actually best for you in terms of getting you the result that you're after. So it's important that we don't continue to have the conversation over Messenger. Once we get a response, we want to get them off Messenger as quickly as possible and get them on the phone. And those are the warnings. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, drop a 1. If it doesn't, drop a 2. Want to get a temperature check. Was that helpful, guys? Some quick warnings. I know we're moving fast today. You can go back and watch the replay. There's just too much for us to cover, so I'm kind of rushing through it. And I do have a hard cutoff today at the hour mark. So here we go. The 3.5 types of messages to send. When you guys are reaching out to people, there's 3 types of messages that you can send. And I believe that if you gain clarity around these 3 types of messages, it's going to give you a lot of insight around why some messages work, why others don't work, and how to make them work for you. So there's 3 types. There's the message where your goal is to start a conversation. There's the message which is focused on personalization and really personalizing it to them. There's the direct offer message where you are placing a direct offer right in front of them. And then the reason I put 0.5 is because you can also take any of these 3 and do a video version. So you can test between these 3 types of messages for your niche. And in addition, you could test doing a video version of all these 3. I'm going to break down exactly what they are now and give you guys some examples. So starting conversation script. This one's going to get you guys a ton of responses, but it's going to take more work to nurture since you're not going in with a direct offer. So for example, you could say something like, hey, Paulson, this is Joel, might have something for you. Let's connect. I could say something like, hey, Paulson, this is Joel. Just came across your gym. Great to connect. How are things going? You could even say something like, how are things going with COVID? You could say, hey, Paulson, this is Joel. I know we've never met, but I wanted to introduce myself. Would love to connect. You guys can say something like, hey, Denver CrossFit team. Are you guys still open and offering personal training sessions? Hey, Dr. John, are you guys closed or are you guys accepting new patients? Pretty self-explanatory, guys. The key is to get a conversation started. You're not going in and saying, hey, I can help you with getting more booked appointments over the next 30 days. Instead, you're just starting a conversation. It's a lot less direct. It's more open. The beauty about this message is you're going to get a ton of responses, but it's going to take a lot of work to take them from, hey, who is this guy, to, all right, let's work together. With that in mind, this is one strategy that works. And again, you can do a video version of this. I can take this exact script and turn it into a video. Hey, Paulson, this is Joel. I know we've never met, but I wanted to make you a quick video to personally introduce myself. Would love to connect. Let's talk soon. Boom. So that's one type of message. The other type, I call it personalized outreach. This one's going to get you a really high response rate, but it takes you a lot of time and it's harder to scale. This is a really good mix of getting really high response rates and being right to the point. The downside, again, there's no perfect script. Everyone has its pros and cons. The downside to this script is that it's really hard to scale. It's really hard to delegate to someone else. And it takes more time. For example, I could send 100 of these emails in an hour. I could maybe send 5 to 10 of these in an hour. So personalized outreach script. Hey, Dr. John. Then you're going to insert 2 to 3 personalized sentences about them. And the more personalized you can be, and the more you can stroke their ego and say something that makes them feel good, the better. So for example, let's say I'm reaching out to Paulson. I could say, hey, Paulson, I saw that you're hosting this amazing 10-day workshop with Joel. I'm loving it so far. And then I pivot into the offer. You're gonna have caught Paulson's attention. You're saying, yo, Paulson, you're crushing it, makes him feel good. You can tell that it's not made up. You can't script that out because you can't send that message to every person. It doesn't apply. Paulson's the only person hosting this workshop. So this is a strategy that takes longer, but if you're starting out and you have time on your hands, I would much rather go the personalized route, given the fact that you're going to immediately stand out amongst all the noise. It's just immediately you're separated. So, for example, hey, Dr. John, let's say that he's a dental implant dentist, or I think I put stem cell doctor. Let's say he's a stem cell doctor. Hey, Dr. John, I just read your article about how the stem cell procedure helped this patient cure his back pain in record time. I really loved how you differentiated between stem cell therapy and all of the other treatments that are currently out there. Also, great job on getting featured on this crazy magazine, period. Just say something nice about him. Paulson, were you going to say something? Or?
Yeah, I had a trick that I used to do with these. I would go straight to the practices reviews and I would say, hey, I noticed that Jennifer said this about your practice, and I would literally cut and paste their review from their Google review and said, I love to connect and learn more about how you created a great culture. And I would literally have my VAs just go to the practices reviews, copy and paste that into the personalized emails.
So that's kind of like a conversation starter mixed with personalized. So again,
yeah, it was actually a conversation starter. We didn't do it as if like you're talking about with the personalized. It wasn't scalable that way. So yeah, it was one of the conversation starters because it was like long freaking sales cycles.
And as you guys can see, this is where you can take the frameworks and innovate on them. So you could do something like have your virtual assistant go in, find 2 to 3 things about them that are personal to them, but then just start a conversation. So that's beautiful. I'm glad you shared that. By the way, if you hear my puppy whining in the back, he's just probably bored right now.
That Gus?
Yeah, that's my new puppy. I just took him out too, so he should have been fine. Okay, then we insert the offer. Anyways, I wanted to reach out because we're testing something new where we will send you 10 stem cell patient appointments in 10 days for free. No catch. We just want to earn the opportunity to work with you. You wouldn't have to do any of the follow-up. Just take the consultations and close the new patients we send your way. If you would like more information on how it works, just reply yes with your best phone number. Now I'll reach out. So my whole thing is if I'm going to take the time to personalize it, I don't want it to be a conversation starter. I want to cut right. If I'm going to take the 10 minutes to craft a really nice personalized message, I want to get a direct response. I want to put an offer in front of them and say, hey, give me a yes if you're interested. Let's talk. So if you guys have time, this strategy works really well. You could also do it on video. Say, hey, Dr. John, I just finished reading your article. You could even turn around the video and show them the article on your screen. Really loved how you talked about X, Y, and Z. Also, really appreciated how you mentioned this point. Really stood out to me. Anyways, the reason I'm making you this video today is because I wanted to reach out and let you know that we're testing something new where we can send you 10 stem cell patient appointments in 10 days absolutely for free. There's no catch. We just want to earn the opportunity to work with you and get that chance to prove ourselves. And the best part about it is we wouldn't ask you to do any of the follow-up. So all you would have to do is take the 10 stem cell consultations we send your way, turn them into patients that absolutely love you guys. And that's it. So if you want more information on how that would work, let me know below this video and let's talk soon. So there's a great video that you could send out. Does this make sense so far? 2 types of messages. Yes? Cool. Who is totally lost? Is there anyone that's like, what the heck's going on? No judgment. No. I guess that's like a bad question because you probably don't want to raise your hand. Here we go. All right. Next up, the direct offer script. This is where we are cutting out the personalization. We're going right to the chase. Here's what we could do for you. Hey, name. I'm contacting you because I'm looking to partner with 5 chiropractors for a brand new program we're launching. You only have to pay when a patient actually shows up. The reason we're able to do this is because we use a dialogue flow technology to book the patients in automatically. No work for your CA, which is chiropractic assistant. Plus, we guarantee 20 patients in 60 days or a full refund. Reply with a quick yes and your best number if you want more info on how it works. So, direct offer, right to the point. Here's what I could do for you. Do you want information? And guys, this changes. It doesn't have to be like this. And like I mentioned at the beginning, we could take hours going through copy and helping you guys come up with a perfect script. What I would say is figure out which one of the 3 messages you want to send, then test out a few variations and see what's working and not working. And then slowly but surely, you're going to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and start to get clarity around which strategy to hone in on. So that's the direct offer script. This is the one that's probably going to get the least responses. That being said, it's scalable, so you can copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And if you do get a response, they're highly interested, high intent. They're interested in what you've got to offer. So let me actually, we got 35 minutes. Let's keep going. I'm going to actually rewrite this real quick. Hey, name, I'm contacting you because I'm looking to partner with 5, let's say, realtors. Or you could say with a realtor in your area. You could even say in Denver. So we can get creative with it, guys. There's no perfect script like I mentioned. For a brand new program we're launching, we generate the leads, do all the nurturing, book all the appointments, and you just have to meet with the buyer or seller. Plus, we guarantee 30 live transfers or a full refund. Done. Here's another example. Hey, John, I'm contacting you because I'm looking to partner with a realtor in Denver for a brand new program we're launching. where we connect to you over live transfer with buyers and sellers. We can send you 10 transfers for free to prove to you that it works. Hopefully earn your business. So guys, see how it's not a specific word. It's just the general idea of sending a direct offer. Doesn't have to be perfect. I would say figure out what your niche wants, put it in front of them. And like we talked about on day 3, you want to have an irresistible offer. The more irresistible it is, the better it's going to be. For example, I had one person who was a brand new beginner. He was like, Joel, I'm going to do these crazy trials where I send them 100 leads before they ever work with me. And he was working with med spas. And his message was, hey, med spa, whatever name of the med spa is, or hey, Dr. John, I would love to send you 100 leads for cool sculpting or cryo skin or whatever service for free to earn the opportunity to work with you. Reply yes with your best number if you're interested. So if you figure out what your audience wants and you create an amazing offer, they're going to respond. Here we go. And as you guys can see, there's no specific perfect script. I really want to drive that point home. The more that you guys can learn to test things and try new things out, the better you're going to get at this. The more you rely on scripts and copy and pasting things, the more you're going to set yourself up to hit a wall and fail. So here we go. All right. The GHL offer script. This is going to be based on the offer that we created the other day. And I promise you guys, if you send it, you're going to get responses. Hey, John, I'm launching a new program where we send you 10 appointments in 10 days absolutely for free. No catch. We just want to prove ourselves and earn the chance to work together. You wouldn't have to do any of the follow-up. Just take the appointments and close the people we send your way. $0 to get started. If you want info, just reply to this message and I'll send you more details. It's right to the point, direct offer. Here's what I could do for you. Are you interested? That's what I would do if I were in your shoes, guys, at least as a starting point. I'm not 100% sure about this line. You can test it, take it out, add it, but I still wanted to throw it in there so you guys can test it out. So that's the Go High Level offer script. If you guys are doing the, let's see, where is it? If you guys are doing this offer where you do the blast for them, you follow up with all the leads, you guarantee 10 appointments, 0 ad spend, don't pay us a single dime, that script is going to work really, really well. So guys, for homework, you guys have scraped Facebook pages, hopefully Instagram pages, emails, phone numbers. You can send an email to every single person on your list one by one with this script if you're doing this offer. So again, guys, first I wanted to show you the frameworks behind outreach messages and why they work, why they don't work. But I know you guys also want that script. You guys want the plug and play, copy and paste. So I'm giving it to you guys as well. So with that in mind, let me just, let's see. We could even modify it a little bit based on the niche. So you could say, I'm launching a brand new program for chiropractors where we send you 10 new patient appointments absolutely for free. No catch. We just want to prove ourselves and earn the chance to work together. You wouldn't have to do any of the follow-up or your CA. CA is chiropractic assistant. So if you use that word, they will already earn you. you will already prove to yourself, to them, that you know the niche really, really well by throwing in some subtle things like that. You or your CA wouldn't have to do any of the follow-up. Just take the appointments and close the patients. Send your way. You could even test out, don't pay me a dime to get started. Promise.
Those of you that may be asking some questions of how is this delivered, just so you know, we're recommending that you run a high-level campaign, meaning take existing lists or leads, throw it into HighLevel, run your text campaigns and emails and voice drops. That's in different phases of where they are in the sales cycle. That's a classic HighLevel campaign. There's no ad spend because you're not using a platform, advertising platform. You're simply just running two-way text campaigns, which is a high-level campaign. Okay, so that's what we mean by zero ad spend, no other obligation. Your essential cost is whatever happens on your text provider, which in our scenario
Twilio.
most commonly is Twilio. Yeah,
it's pretty much free, guys. So let's see.
How many of you are going to do this as a homework tomorrow? I see a lot of promises being made. I'm going to call one of you out and I'm going to have you show your account tomorrow. Is that fair? You have
like
at least 10 leads.
I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but if you want to be here tomorrow.
I meant Monday. Monday. But you guys have at least 10 prospects from the past. Whether you haven't talked to them in a year or so, you've came across at least 10 people, right? You should be able to do a DBR without even having to generate lists and leads and all of that with just your existing people. Because at the end of the workshop, we want to make sure you're getting some clients in the door. Okay, go ahead, Joel. I don't want to waste time.
And I was going to say, you can actually send this to a cold audience. So, for example, I could go on Facebook. I'm going to show you guys in a sec. It's just when I'm looking for stuff, Zoom will slow down. So I like to find it first. Denver real estate.
All right, I'm getting volunteers to be called out for Monday. I'm going to ask you to
share
your screen.
I looked up Denver real estate. Let's see. Let me just look for pages. Let's see. Okay, perfect. I could say, oops. David, it's your lucky day. I'm going to tell him the spot was taken if he replies back. Hey, David, I'm launching a new program where we send you 10 appointments in 10 days absolutely for free. Buyers and sellers in Denver. No catch. We just want to prove ourselves and another chance to work together. You won't have to do any of the follow-up. Just take the appointments and close the people and help people your way buy or sell their dream home. If you want info, just reply to this message and I'll send you more details. Boom, sent.
You actually sent it? I want to see his reply on Monday.
Look, guys, it's not that hard. Ready? All right, here we go. Just copy this. All right, Nicole, you're up next. Hey, Nicole. Boom, done. It's 2.
There is limits on each platform, just so you know, on Instagram and Facebook. So don't tread lightly on high volumes when you do this. Idea is to send this to your existing clients or prospects as well. Anybody in your ecosystem that you can literally push over that fence of resistance.
Yeah, so here, I'm going to talk about where to send it and how to send it in a second. I think doing a tech day would be there's so much to cover. If I showed you guys how to do it on cold email, how to do it on Facebook, I'm going to just talk about it and give you guys the high level overview. But as you guys can see, it's just taking more action, sending the messages, and not overcomplicating it too much. I think you guys would have spent hours just fine tuning the message left and right instead of just freaking sending it and completing the task of getting in front of 100 people in a day. So as you guys saw, it's really not a big deal either way, as long as you send the messages. Now, where do I want to go from here? Let's talk about where to send the messages first. We've got about 23 minutes. Here's what I would do if I were you guys. I would find 30 to 50 Instagram pages every single day. You can search by hashtag. You can do it through scraping like I showed you guys, but I would find 30 pages every single day to directly message just like I showed you guys. So for example, if I go to Instagram, I don't know if it'll let me do it on desktop, but Denver Realtor, let's see. Perfect, check this out. Look up Denver Realtor. All these people are Denver Realtors. So I go here, perfect. Click here.
So you guys, in the long run, a virtual assistant could handle a lot of this for you, but right now you gotta earn some sweat equity to get to 10K, just so you.
Yeah, so what you guys can do is then take the handle and then go to your messages and then send the message out. I would also go to their actual brokerage, and perfect, it's a duo. So you can even reach out to both of them. Then if you could also do it on your phone. You can directly message if you're on your phone as well. So you can also do this on your phone, send it out. You guys already saw how to do it for the Facebook business pages. You can either search for a certain city with the keyword, or you can scrape like I showed you guys yesterday, and you'll have a ton of Facebook pages and Instagram pages to go through. You're going to pick 30 to 50 every single day. You're going to send a message. You're also going to add actual people in your niche on Facebook. So for example, let me show you guys. I go to Facebook. You can either look for groups of people in your niche, go to the members, and see all the people that are realtors, or all the people that are chiropractors, or all the people that are gym owners or e-com store owners, and then add them that way. Or you can look on Facebook, for example. If I go here and I look up the word DC, I know for a fact chiropractors all have the word DC in their last name. So I just got a list of all these people. See, I've actually tried to friend a bunch in the past. And
Action taker.
and at this point, I've tried to remove as many since I help agency owners. But for a while, I was friends with a ton of different of these people. You can friend them. As soon as you guys become friends, you can then message them the way that I just showed you guys. So add and send about 30 to 50 messages a day directly to the profile. Do the same thing for Facebook page and Instagram page DMs. So that's Instagram, Facebook, and Facebook profiles. There are some limits. My 2 cents, if you start getting warnings, just slow down. Don't push it. Just wait, chill out a little bit, start again the next day. But the idea is, guys, just take some action and then let Facebook tell you when you're pushing the limits and back off a little bit. All right, on LinkedIn, what I would do is there's a ton of different softwares. The one that I use is called Ulink. You do need an invitation. We would need like a whole hour for me to show you how to use Ulink, but the idea is you can look for people in your niche and automatically send them a message. You could even put in their first name to personalize that first name section. And it will even follow up with all the leads on LinkedIn for you for free. Once you've actually sent them the initial message. Now, for this, you want to send about 100 to 250 a day. And then cold email, you want to send about 500 to 1,500 a day. The way that I do cold email, guys, is I'll create a ton of Gmail accounts, joelkaplan1@gmail.com, joelkaplan2@gmail.com, joelkaplan3@gmail.com, and I will send out one by one. So I'll have all the emails that I scraped. I'll copy it. I'll paste it into the email creator. I'll put in the actual email template, and I'll use a keyboard shortcut to make it super fast, and I'll send it one by one. And you can send between 500 to 1,500 a day if you rotate accounts. Let's see. Does that make sense, guys? Again, like for me to show you how to send the messages on each platform would require one day for each, but hopefully you guys get the gist of it. And what I would do is take the script that you want to send and send it on all those platforms and aim for those numbers on average every single day. Now, the only caveat, guys, the only caveat for this, if you're going to personalize it, obviously you can't do as much volume. So if you're going to personalize it and do the personalized approach, focus more on quality outreach and follow-up as opposed to the quantity. So if you're going to send this message right here, you should go for volume. Get it out to as many people as possible. If you're going to go for personalization with something like this, you can't send 100 a day. There's just no way. So in that case, what I would do, if I was in your shoes, is something called carpet bombing, where if you're going to personalize it and take your time to write this really nice message, send it to them everywhere. So that way you're not sending as many messages, but you're sending one message to one person that's personalized in as many platforms as possible. So for example, you could take the personalized message and send it to their email, Instagram page, Facebook business page. You can try to find them on Facebook as a user and personally message it to them. Send it everywhere. Let's see. Let me, Paulson, just because there's more to cover, let me finish the content and then we'll try to get through some Q&A. Whoops, here we go. All right. Now, a few hacks for you guys. The two biggest hacks that I can give you, above all else, is if you're going to do it, you're making a big mistake. Instead, you should get a VA to do all of this work for you. This work is assembly line work. You can do, it's the same thing every single day unless you're personalizing it. If you're personalizing it, fine. But if you're not going to personalize it, I would rather just get a virtual assistant to do all of the work for you. And if you're like, Joel, I can't afford a virtual assistant, again, think about what I said yesterday. If you're going to start a gym, you're going to need to buy gym equipment. You can't get a warehouse and then say, sorry, I don't have the funds. If I were in your shoes, instead of trying to find a shortcut to making it work without the VA and to making it work without having the funds to invest into a list, I would ask myself, how can I get those funds? Maybe you work part-time. Maybe you save a little bit more money before quitting your 9-to-5. Find a way to do this the right way instead of having to find shortcuts to do it the wrong way, which won't end up working. I think if you guys try to do this on your own every single day, not gonna lie, you're going to stop and give up like a week in because it's just a lot of manual work. And the one day that you no longer feel like doing it, the prospecting machine is going to completely turn off. So if you're like, Joel, what is the right way to do it? I would say, you know what? Invest the $5 an hour into a VA that can help you out and do this for you. If you don't have the $5 an hour, find a way to make it work instead of finding shortcuts. So drive Uber at night or maybe save up a little bit more money. So get a VA to do all this work for you and send the messages and do the follow-up, or else you're going to stop doing it the day that you don't feel like doing it. And I promise you, it's a lot of work and it's repetitive and your time is better spent on other things. Now, if for some reason you cannot, for whatever reason, get help, then yeah, do it on your own. Just block out some time in the afternoon. What I like to tell my clients is block out from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on prospecting, and then focus on clients in the afternoon from 2 to 5. So if you really need to do this on your own, and there's no other way around it, just take the first 4 or 5 hours of the day and just knock it out, and be very, very, very committed to doing this consistently. The other hack that I can give you is to get more profiles. So you have to be a little careful with this and do it the right way. But for example, let's say that you are reaching out to people on Instagram. You can also message people through a business profile or through a profile that looks like a business. So you can create 10 different Instagram pages for your agency. And then now, if you are messaging people on one profile and it gets a warning that you're sending too many messages, you can go to page number 2. Same with email. If Gmail is like, yo, you got to slow down, you can just go and create a second Gmail account or a Yahoo account. The one where it gets tricky is the Facebook profiles. You don't want to have fake Facebook profiles, but what you can do is if you have a team, you can be sending messages from your profile and from your team member's profile. So now, for example, if you can do that and find a way, you've essentially doubled your volume and doubled your output. So those are the 2 biggest hacks to making this work: is get help. Don't do this on your own, because I promise you, the day that you don't feel like doing it, you're not going to do it. And then also, the way that you get more volume out is by adding more profiles to the mix. That's how I have some people in my program that send like 5,000 emails a day. That's how they do it. I have people in my program sending 500 Instagram DMs a day. You would think that's impossible because you're going to get blocked. But the reality is, if you have an agency called Joel Digital, and then you create another Instagram page called Joel Digital 1 and Joel Digital 2, or Joel Digital X, Joel Digital Y, Joel Digital Z, now I have 3 times as many opportunities to send messages. All right. Cool. You got 10 minutes. I want to go through the bonus stuff for you guys. How's everyone feeling? Good? Yes. Again, don't get stuck with the complicated technical stuff. Just go out and send more messages. You'll figure it out. I promise. And if you get stuck, you can lean on this community to help you out. I guarantee someone in here is going to be able to help you out. That is something that I'm very confident in guaranteeing for you guys. So with that in mind, as you guys saw, just freaking go in there and send more messages and get your 30 out today, and then worry about the technical stuff. That's what I would recommend. I have not used any automated stuff to send messages like Mailshake or I'm a big fan of personally sending the message and not using software, because it guarantees to actually hit their inbox. And I just haven't had success with any of the software. So all these strategies that I give you are personally being sent out with the help of a virtual assistant. The only one that I use a software for is LinkedIn. And I use Ulink. That's what it's called. I use Ulink. All right, you guys ready for the bonuses? Yes, energy is a little low now. I want to see some hands in the air, some excitement. This is day number 5. Cool. All right. Here's some proven follow-up messages that you guys can send. Follow-up 1, just following up. Did you get my message? It's very obvious and clear, right to the point. Follow-up number 2, are you still interested in helping me out with X, Y, or Z? With the 10 appointments or with the 10 free appointments. Follow-up 3, I like to switch it up and do a meme or send a GIF. I don't know if you guys know this website. You can even hire famous people to create follow-up messages for you. So you guys can hire like a famous actor from The Office. Be like, yo, why are you leaving Joel hanging on this Facebook Messenger conversation? So just something a little bit more fun. I love the meme of the guy that does the peace sign and then he disappears like a ghost. That's one of my absolute favorites to send out. Just get creative with it. Have fun with it. Follow-up number 4, you can send a testimonial video from a client. So if you guys can actually get a client to make a follow-up message for you, that's a huge golden nugget. If you can get a gym owner that you've personally helped in the past create a follow-up message for you, be like, hey, just wanted to make you this message. Joel asked me to share a few words of my experience working with him. And if you like what I had to say, then make sure to respond to this message. And then they actually do a testimonial video for you. So I love that. It's essentially a follow-up message from a client of yours. Then I love the first name question mark. Then I go, I'm worried about you. Haven't heard back. Is everything okay? Just want to make sure that you don't miss out. You can probably take that out. Then last but not least, on day 7, should I close out this conversation? A simple yes, I'm interested, or no, I'm not interested will do. So those are some easy follow-ups for you guys. As you guys can see, they're all short to the point. Don't overcomplicate it. Just follow up. That's the key. All right. Last but not least, final bonus for today, my Black Friday script to get old leads back on the phone. Now, the message that I shared with you guys today, this is for new people that you've never talked to. All these things that we talked about today, this is for new people that you've never spoken with. You're not going to send this to an old prospect. That would be silly. I want to give you guys the script that I used for Black Friday to send to my old prospects that blew up. People got crazy results and it was absolutely bananas. It was insane. Hey, John, I'm testing something brand new for Black Friday and I thought of you. To keep it exclusive, we're only going to be rolling this out to the next 10 realtors that reply back. If you want info, just let me know in the next 24 hours, no pressure either way. So what you guys can do, if you have any leads in your pipeline today, this is for old leads. This is for anyone that hasn't said yes to you, but you've spoken with in the past. This is not for new people to reach out to. This is not for people to look for on Facebook based on their niche, or people on Instagram based on their hashtag or the emails that you've scraped. This is for people that are already in your pipeline. Go through every single one and send this message. Hey, John, I'm testing something brand new for, you could even say through the end of December. So it doesn't have to be Black Friday. Just find something to fill in for Black Friday. And I thought of you. To keep it exclusive, we're going to be rolling this out to the next 20 realtors that reply back. If you want info, just let me know in the next 24 hours, no pressure either way. You could even say through the end of this weekend. Like, it doesn't have to be some crazy special holiday or promotional season. It could just be, hey, we're testing something new through the end of this weekend. So if you guys send this, you're going to get a ton of old leads back on the phone. And then once you do, you can make them the 10 appointment and 10-day offer if you want, or you can make them another offer. But that's the message that I would send out to your leads that are already in your pipeline. And that's it. Sorry we didn't have as much time for breaks or for Q&A, but I needed to get through all of that. I know I went fast. I highly recommend you go back and watch this video if you felt like you got lost at certain points. I'm sure there's a lot of questions in regards to how to send the messages, so I'm going to just break it down really, really quickly. For cold email, I create a ton of accounts. I warm them up by subscribing to a lot of newsletters. And what I do is I will actually send out one email at a time. and I'll do about 50 to 100 emails per account. 50 to 100 emails per account, and then I'll just rotate to the next one. And then I'll have all of those accounts forward to one main account to manage all the conversations. So any responses from the sub accounts get sent to one main account. For Facebook business page DMs, the way that I do it is I will go on something like D7 Lead Finder. I'll scrape all the pages like I showed you guys how to do. We did show you exactly how to do that. And I could just click one by one on every single Facebook page and start sending messages. For Instagram, you could do it through D7, or you can also look for hashtags and find the people in your niche. So for example, if you go and put in hashtag HVAC, you're going to see a ton of HVAC business pages on Instagram to reach out to. For LinkedIn, I do use a software. There's many different softwares out there. Just look up LinkedIn automated messaging software. I use Ulink. And for Facebook profile DMs, where I'm actually finding people to DM, what I'll do is I will look for a group that has all the people in my niche, or I will search certain keywords like realtor or like dentist and click on people, and it'll show me all these people that have that title somewhere on their profile. And I'll have my virtual assistant friend all of them. And as soon as they accept the friend request, I will send them the message. So that's how I do it. Cool. Paulson, you got 2 minutes.
Amigo. Adios, amigo.
I got 2 minutes.
You do? Okay. Let's go with Brett Bowden. He already has his hands raised. If you have any questions, guys, raise your hand and we'll go through it as quick as we can.
Hey, Joel, this is Brett. Thank you. You answered my question in that last 2 minutes there.
Cool. I figured that's what's on everyone's mind. So guys, was this helpful today? You guys feel like you're leveling up? Cool.
Hey guys, if you haven't done it, post a story and tag Joel and tag HighLevel on your Instagram accounts or Facebook accounts. Show him some love. He's doing this at no obligation, no cost. I know he charges $10,000 or $20,000 for his courses and classes, and he's literally helping us the HighLevel agencies out. So give him a huge shout out. Post on your Instagrams, Facebooks as we do these workshops. We're halfway there, guys. I know a lot of you are action takers. I know, Joel, you got to jump off, but make sure you give them some love on your social media platforms as much as you can. And I'll do Q&A. And Joel, I'll have the replay posted in the YouTube if you want to catch the Q&A like you are normally. Let's go with your first.
Two super quick things before I hop off. Guys, the biggest takeaway here is just send more messages. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. To end on the same note we've been kind of ending on every single day, your mind is going to play games with you, and you're going to want to try to figure out all the technical details about how to make this all work. Just send some freaking messages today, and I promise you, your actions will give you all the insights you need to take the next step, and they will guide you more than any technical advice that I will ever be able to give you. So my homework for you guys is go send 30 to 50 Instagram messages, Facebook business page messages, go add some people on Facebook, go send some cold emails, go set up LinkedIn automation. And I'll see you guys on Monday for paid ads. So
awesome,
guys. You guys. And by the way, someone yesterday was like, there's going to be a pitch at the end of this 10-day workshop. I'm like, no, there isn't. And I told him
it would have been before. It would have been before if there was one.
Like, dude, we're really doing this genuinely to help you guys. There's no pitch. So yes,
whatever the pitch is, I'm buying.
There isn't one. So
tell me what it is. I'll pay for it.
That's between you and Paulson. There's no pitch.
We want you guys to level up. We want you guys to level up. Q1 is right around the corner. And there's a lot here, right? HighLevel community. We want the idea of a community that came together as the smartest, most intelligent marketers on the planet, That's my personal goal, leveling up and scaling 6,500 agencies. So I've got to bring in experts like Joel and his ecosystems and knowledge when, he scaled an agency completely opposite of how we scaled an agency.
Mm.
He would niche down one offer, one avatar, scale this bad boy in a whole different way than the way we did it. And I'm telling you now, don't build a traditional media agency. It is hard. Listen to what Joel has to say. We built ours and scaled it over like 6, 7 years. Joel can scale one agency with his method, and I've seen it with plenty of his students, like 30, 40K in like 2, 3 months. I've seen it with my own hands, right? And I wanted to just share that with you guys, and that's why I brought Joel in. So let's go through Q&A. So those of you that have questions, Joel, if you want to hang out, feel free to do so.
Got to
If you
run.
got to jump off, okay. All right, buddy. Raheem, let's go with you, man. Let's do a Q&A all together, and feel free to ask questions about the entire shop up until today, not just today's content in general, right? I want you guys to be very clear because the workshop is cumulative. It's built upon the previous days. You will be lost if you just came in today and this is all you listen to. You have to go back and watch the replay. So Raheem, let's go with you, my man.
Okay, hey Paulson, thanks a lot, man. I rescheduled another meeting to make it to attend this one, so this was really
worth
good
it.
again. So I got so it's more about high level. I'm doing SMS marketing. I started some SMS campaigns. My question is, can we do the SMS based on what they reply? Can we program like high level to say, hey, let's say, hey, thanks for connecting. Do you have an e-com store? And if they say yes, then a different message. If they say no,
Yeah. Yeah, and just so you know, I'm the least technical guy, and that's the persona I've created everywhere, and I'm gonna stick to it. But I
okay,
do know there's something called positive intent, right? And or custom values. There's some play there where you could divert answers and responses based on keywords that you can pre-populate. Now, I also know from the development team, even on your calendars and surveys and funnels, there's going to be something called logic placement or something. So when they're going through a survey based on their responses, we're going to take them off the survey or divert them into different areas. And that's something I know I've asked for my own team. So this whole respond based communication, it's going to happen, right? And also with we have AI coming out like literally any day now, right? And that's going to also allow you to pre-populate a lot of different things. So the answer is yes. I don't know how to get you there, but
that's all I needed.
yes, you
I
could
just
you
needed
could you could do it.
I'll
You
figure
could
out
do
the
it.
rest. Just a quick follow up.
Awesome.
Like I use email MailChimp for email marketing, where it just sends an email every few days. Do you you said like don't use high level for bulk email. So does
Yeah,
that also
when I say bulk, my definition of bulk is nothing less than 1,500 a day,
okay?
right? So for an agency, regardless of in most industries, you have to send out 1,500 to 2,000, in most industries, most niches, right? So because of that issue, I don't recommend high level because your entire high level is your hub, right? Your agency hub. Almost all your sub accounts, all your clients are in there. Their emails will get affected. I mean, it's just not, for me, it's not worth the risk, right? I'm sure the capability could be there. I know there's a bunch of throttling and stuff like that, but I just wouldn't play with it in my head. I'd rather just have my prospecting channels outside of the ecosystem that's not in my hub, if that makes sense, right?
Okay, that makes sense. Last question: how do I get in
Mhm.
touch with support at high level? Because
You go, y- yeah, we just did our numbers. On average, we reply within 4 minutes, actually. So if you go into your agency dashboard, click on the question mark, it'll give you all the different types of supports that you can get. And you're talking to actually like 4 or 5 teams.
so that's my problem. I'm not able to log in, and the password reset isn't working. So maybe that's why. I sent an email to hello at
Ah,
Go High Level
no, just post in the
Facebook.
Facebook page or the community, either Rachel Wilson or Ian could actually field you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
can understand if you can't log in, you can't ask for help, right? So I would say go to the other resources like the Facebook group and Facebook page and
What was the
wherever
name?
else. I'm sorry?
Ian.
Oh,
What?
Rachel Wilson. She's one of our community managers. She works, I believe, alongside of Chase and that team. So yeah, she usually goes through the Facebook group and helps people field any technical questions there are. Okay.
Thanks,
Let's
man.
see. Yeah, absolutely. Jim, Mr. Swan, how's it going?
Good, Paulson, and thanks for putting this on, you and Joel. This has been incredible. So
Awesome.
I finally caught up with all the videos, so that's why I'm live today. So this is
Oh my
great.
God. Awesome.
My question is that when we actually do the outreach with our amazing offer, we get the client. Are we dictating the client's offer to them? What they're going to send out to get the customers, say on the reactivation campaigns? Or are we letting the client dictate what offer they want to give their clients, their customers?
That's gonna be seasonal issue, right? Like right now, if they want a Christmas holiday promotion going out, they're probably right, right? So it just depends on the scenario. But from an account management perspective, I decide all offers for all my clients. That's just the way
Okay.
I operate. I don't give them any freedom because you hired me to be the marketing expert, meaning we are going to do things my way. If
So
not, I
some,
respectfully declined. No worries. Go to another agency. That's just the way I operate. That's my account. I'm kind of a bit stricter on my account management because I've done it the other way where I'm being too nice and everybody goes their way and I'm finding myself customizing a whole business around whatever my clients feel like that Monday. I can't do that. Right? So
great.
so the opposite is what I go to now that I've been doing this for a long time or long enough.
Yeah. So I'm running into some clients are saying, well, I'll give 10%, and some are, and 10% really isn't a great offer to get out there, or so yeah, that was my question. You answered it. Thank you
What
very much.
industry are you in?
With say Botox, for example, like med spas.
Okay.
So yeah, just having a variety of what business owners want to offer as their.
Yeah, one of the best high level campaigns that we have done at the high level agency for med spas is gift cards for two-way texting. Like, hey, things are kind of slow right now. So the way we use high level campaigns is is management churn, right? Let's say Facebook ads are cranking and they slow down, we run in with a high level campaign. Let's say we're running Google ads and they slow down. Right when they slow down, we run in with the high level campaign. Let's say onboarding takes too long, we run in with the high level campaign. Let's say they're pissed off about something they want to cancel, high level campaign. It's to offset all the other platforms, right? And that's so what does that do from an account management perspective? Happiness kind of stays at this level and it's not feast and famine. This week everything's good, next week is bad, right? It sounds funny, but there is a relational churn that you have to work at scale. So the way we do that is with high level campaigns. If you don't know what it is, it's basically simply putting a list or some sort of a lead list into high level of previous existing leads that they've ever had, running an offer against it with text, emails, voice drops into different phasing, like leads, prospects, appointments booked, that type of that's a classic high level campaign, right? So when do you use it? Now you know, right? So Jim, as you go into doing this offer, what I recommend is, hey, holidays are around the corner. We'd love to just do a quick $100 gift card for your med spa. Is this something that you might be interested in? That's the only offer I'm running. And that's because I know it works for other places. If they have an activated list, give yourself a good chance to do 10 appointments in the next 10 days, right? And that's easy fulfillment. The problem with you asking them the offer, you're going to ask everybody an offer. Now you got to rewrite all the campaigns, right? The whole high level campaign that we're recommending to lean in with to get your foot in the door, it is a done for you fulfillment. Do not offer SaaS. do not offer done with you. It is a fulfillment that is done for them. Classic done for you. Does that make sense? Because if you go the other route, then it's not a offer, like a pre-trial offer. It's you're actually servicing them for something you should be charging $1,000 on for no reason, right? So I recommend you going in and approaching it that way. But Jim, there's plenty of offers in the med spa world, man. You can run $9 Botox with the 20 unit minimum. You can do thread lines. There's a lot. There's a lot there. But go with the
Thank you.
low tickets. Go with the low tickets. Don't go with the mid tickets and the high tickets. Don't go doing $3,000 cool sculpting. No appointments are coming. They haven't activated that list in 10 years. It's been catching dust, I promise. So go with the easy win.
Thank you.
Christian, yeah, absolutely. Mr. Granville, is that right?
Yes. How you doing? I just
Pretty
had
good, man.
I had a question. I'm still getting caught up on the replays, but you mentioned in the chat not to use many chat flows and automations, and I'm curious as to why. Because my mind was like, I know we're going to be doing paid ads eventually, and even with the emails, if we could get them into a flow of some sort, like maybe we could do something there. But I'm just curious as to how come you're recommending against it.
Yeah, so for outbound fresh messages that you ever sent out, how would you get them on ManyChat?
You
Unless
wouldn't.
run
That's
ads,
what I was thinking of,
right?
like the
You don't
yeah, I
have
was thinking of
ManyChat is retention marketing. They're already in the system, right? So this is outbound new people that you've never talked to. But in this case, when we're saying run in with the high level offer to get your foot in the door, this is people that you already have in your ecosystem. Like, who have you prospected in the last 2 months? Run a high level campaign to them right now with 10 days, 10 appointments to get the ball rolling. Like next week, like tomorrow. Like, we're not waiting for building out a whole system and this and that and your version level and funnels and no.
yeah.
Right? We want revenue by Monday. We want revenue by Monday, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what
And
we're
can I do
saying.
that too?
Go now.
And so let's say with the high level offer, if I don't have anyone to like shoot out that message to, like I have clients, but they're all scattered as like a general agency. Now I'm gonna niche down because of the video the other day. How would I send that high level offer to cold people? Like maybe.
Yep. No. High level offer would only work for people that have already subscribed to you or said yes to you in some way, right? They've had to show some sort of interest there in your ecosystem. So if you don't anybody, or Christian's point is like, hey, I've prospected like 10 different niches before. I don't have a specific one. I would say if you sorry, it's really loud. I don't know who it is, but if let's say out of the 10 niches is if one of them have enough people there, I would just point at that and go at it, right? Especially if you're going to do that long term. Or worst case scenario, 250 on LinkedIn, 30 plus on Facebook, 30 plus on Instagram. Wait 5-6 days to generate your lead base, and then pound at it after that. So it's just a little bit of weight if you don't have a big list. And I think if you have 50-60 positive replies, you can actually convert 10, in my opinion, into trial clients of some kind, right? So hopefully that helps, Christian. Any follow-up to that?
Oh,
okay, awesome. Mylan, how's it going, buddy?
Good, Hayden. Hey, quick question. On when someone you send that PM DM on Facebook, and they respond with saying, "Hey, send me more information or something," right? When I do that, when they say that, do you send them some kind of like PDF document or like really quick message? Like, how would you typically respond to that?
Do you remember my sales? I know you've been on literally like all of them. Like, do you remember my old sales training like about 2 months ago?
A little bit, yeah.
When we talked about intro calls, right?
Yeah.
We talked about then strategy sessions or demo calls,
Right.
right? And then if you're doing two call closes, then you have a closing call, right?
Yeah.
With prospecting tension, nothing more than an intro call being generated,
Okay. Okay, it makes sense. So
right? So my message is going to be, hey, can we jump on a call? Can we jump on a call? I only use the phone. Can you jump on a call?
okay.
That's my mode, because going back to the old trainings and things that we've done, you separate out
Yeah.
intro call and demo call. You have to have a 2-call close in services. Products, you can have 1-call close. Services, 2-call close. Consulting, 3-call close.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. And then
Okay,
like
so
okay. No, I think that makes sense.
so you,
So
if they say that, if they reply, your next
Yeah.
response is, oh, thanks for asking. Can we just jump on a quick call and we can go over it? What's your
Okay.
cell phone number?
Okay. No, cool. I think
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then like one thing that I've come across is like I typically do that, like what he said, Paulson, and then they send me a number and then say, hey, like what's a good time to talk? At that point, like a lot of times like they don't respond to that. In that case, I guess you just like if they don't respond to that, you already have their number and you just give them a call anytime you want and say, hey, this is a good time to talk. We chatted on Facebook. Is that the way you would go, or like how would you tackle that, Paulson?
I don't know if I understand your question.
So okay,
I think the
yeah,
question is, how do you transition?
yeah. So kind of like, for example, let's say they respond to a message saying, "Hey, okay," I said, "Okay, great, let's jump on a call," and then they respond, "Okay, hey, this is my cell phone number," and then in that time, say, "Hey, what's a good time for me to give you a call?" Then if there's no response, right? If that's the case,
Don't yeah, don't I wouldn't even entertain that last step.
okay, just give them a
No.
call. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, do the work. Like
Yeah.
just pound it in. You're trying to be very efficient in the work. Too
Okay.
early, right?
Okay.
Like, so what
Right.
I would do is just like
Okay.
pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I was the guy that reached out to you on Facebook."
Okay.
Yeah, it's yeah. Okay, cool. Like, yeah, what made you say yes to me?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm holding my positioning right out of that first sentence. What made you say
Right.
yes? Well, I saw that you're a marketing guy, blah, blah, blah. And I get a lot of those calls all the time, a lot of promotions all the time. So they're
Yeah.
trying to regain that control back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I bet you do. What have you done about it?
You're too good at this, Paulson.
Seems like you got a great practice going on, but what in the world have you done about it? You've
Yeah.
actually had 30 marketers call you and you haven't done anything about marketing at all. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna hold my position all the way through on my sales mode, right? So that's what I recommend. If any of you have not seen my old trainings, they're in the YouTube channel under Marketplace. There's a ton of sales trainings on how to do an intro call. I think I did a session for like 2 hours on how to do a 5-minute phone call, right? I did the same thing on demo. How do you actually talk on a demo? What to say, what not to say. Go back and watch those guys. It's going to help you. But Milan, your intention is to generate the intro call. If they give you a number, I'm not asking for time. Now
Okay.
you're dragging that sales cycle. You're just
Yeah.
saying, oh, then they're gonna say, well, just appoint, create an appointment, blah blah blah, and they may even come back and say, actually, just reach out to my secretary. Now you created a new sales cycle with somebody else. You could have just called them right then and there.
Okay. Okay. No, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
So yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Let's go with Babak.
Hey, what up, Olson? How
Hey
you doing?
man, how's it going?
Good, thank you, man. Thank you. I had a quick question to ask you regarding, sort of bait messaging, right? Because a lot of marketers they use messages like, "Hey, what's up, Mr. Prospect? We're getting all these leads in your area and have no one to send them to. Would you be interested in getting more leads?" So they're not kind of revealing their offer, but they are kind of using kind of a bait approach, right? Like another example would be, hey, Mr. Prospect, we're currently, getting too many appointments for with patients in this area and want a new partner we can send them to. would you be interested in getting more appointments without, kind of making it obvious that this is maybe a paid service? I know those get high response rates, but I wouldn't know how it would convert once you get to the call stage. Do you have any thoughts or opinion on those?
No, when you go back to the training on saturated versus unsaturated, the saturated niches, one of the most is medical. No matter how you look at it, they're desensitized to messages. You're not going to get that many responses. There's It's not just marketing services. There are plenty of other vendors that are pounding at them too. So no matter how you do it, it's going to be hard to get through those doors. And then how do you transition that? So Babak, the messages that you're saying is, yes, everybody gets pounded with prospecting messages. Every industry, every business owner, right?
Right.
But they don't get pounded with offer messages. And that's the differentiation I want you guys to understand. Present an offer. Don't just lean in with your expertise. It's not gonna go long, right? And you have to turn those into actual calls and sales. It's not easy. What I would recommend is lean in with offers and say, here's what I can do for you. I know you get messages like this all the time, but here's what I can do for you, and actually give them the offer right out of the gate, especially in saturated industries like medical. But if you're out in another industry where there's not a lot of marketers, which is what we're recommending, as long as it's not too far and you're all by yourself, educating the entire industry and turning an active buyer in the next 2 years. As long as you're not doing that and you're in a decently saturated market, I 100% believe this approach works.
Right.
Right. But if you're in like dental, med spa, Cairo, it's a long battle because you've got millions of people pounding at them. And then that's when paid ads are very effective. When you go into saturated markets, you have to run paid ads with like 6, 7 cold channels, right? Simultaneously. And you have to
Hmm.
have an offer in all of those. So yeah, that's the way you have to scale, is going to be through paid ads. That's
Perfect.
really golden grail of agency scaling is paid ads. Not all these cold email. All this cold email stuff is gonna just feed the beast at a lower level, but the main framework is gonna be of growth is gonna be from paid ads. I know agencies that spend close to 50, 60,000 a month on paid ads, right? And that's how they scale. The cold email outreach, all the stuff we're talking about today are the fundamental basics of what you have to have in place for a healthy sales team to be active, right? Otherwise, they cannot be active. They cannot do the work without leads, right? So for you to
Hmm.
be active, you have to have 5, 6 channels before paid ads even come around. That's why we're doing this at a cumulative level, just so you know. Any follow up to that, Babek?
No, that makes a lot of sense. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Justin, Mr. Pena,
Hey, how's it going, Paulson?
pretty good, man.
So yeah, I had a few questions. The first thing was about the Go High Level offer. The 10 appointments in 10 days. Are we putting? I think you might have mentioned this before, but are we putting some sort of disclaimer on that, saying that they need to have a certain amount of people in their database currently? Because obviously we can't do it on a list of 0 people.
Yeah, as long as somebody asked us yesterday, and I said the list has to be at least 10 people. Right.
And
So I was being silly, but too far into the way, the weeds of things, right? Because like they may have 50 people that they've been talking to at a dinner seminar for the last 3 months. They're extremely active 50 people, right? Versus a clinic that has 10,000 people, or a realtor who scraped 100,000 people in the past in an area. They've never talked to them and they're not active. So really the question to ask is, how active is the existing list you have, right? Regardless of size. And that's going to give you the best odds. But I've done high level campaigns with like 50, 60 people in there and converted 20. Right?
it's all pretty relative.
It's going to be relative to the activation level of how indoctrinated those leads are, right? So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then as far as, I know you don't like to get into the technical side of things, but when we're actually like fulfilling this offer, you know, we're not setting them up on a sub account. We're not giving them any logins. We're just
I would
kinda-
say I would say create a new sub account so you can keep all your stuff just divided and
Right.
separately. Create a new sub account, throw in a marketing campaign, upload a list and pound at it. They shouldn't even get access to HighLevel.
right. Yeah.
This
So
is a done
we would
for
create
you
the sub
service.
account, just wouldn't give them the logins to it, and then the appointments, what we would just email it.
The
email
appointments
them the
get
appointments, or-
they you create a trigger that says notifications goes to their regular emails and
or just straight to their inbox.
text.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Because Mr. Business Owner, I just want to earn trust with you today, right? I'm not here to build your marketing. With this offer, we're not doing marketing. And matter of fact, when we do these high-level campaigns, we simply just want to show you the system. We don't think you're going to convert any leads. And a matter of fact, I'm not even expecting you to convert these leads, but I'm going to for sure help you understand the power of my system, right? I can generate these leads that have never been activated before. Yeah, I mean, the offer could be off. Our angles could be off. Marketing message could be off. I just want to show you the system. Ding, 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 ding. The notifications just needs to go crazy when they're sleeping at night. That's what I want, right? One lead, second lead, third lead, fourth lead. And we would even like spread those out so they get notification. I want them to call me back and tell me to turn the notifications off. That's what I want. Oh, great. Let's talk about it. Let's jump on a call and show you how to do all of that. But here's how your business would look like. We did this in 1 hour. Imagine your phone going off every single day with your sales team, Mr. Business Owner. So it's really a conceptual thing that you're proving to them. You're not, that's what I mean. You asked about disclaimers. I don't really care about disclaimers. I don't come in and say you're going to make 10K on this, right? I don't even know if you're going to get a lead out of this, but I'm going to definitely show you my system. So the positioning of how you close it, it has to be with the right expectations. Don't go into a Bentley leadership, dealership and say, I'm going to help you sell 4 out of those 10. Right? That won't help, because guess what every business owner wants you to do? Sell their highest of all highest tickets that's never been sold ever before. That's the scenario every time. Right? We've got this new thing. It's $5,000. What the heck? Who's going to sell that? How many people have you sold this organically? Nobody. Okay. Let's go back to Botox, $9 a unit, buddy, because we're not selling your rest of your, what is it called? Holistic evaluation 1-year packages for $10,000. No. Right? So you just got to understand what you say yes to. Hopefully that helps, Justin. Any follow-up to that, buddy?
Yeah. So what's like your attitude towards, if you fail at providing those, let's say you provided 7 appointments in days, are you still going to try to convert them to, the monthly membership? Or are you just going to say like, sorry, we failed. You can just hire us or not?
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to convert them and close them, because here's the thing. I don't lean in with the expectation that it should have been closed. So I don't have to, I don't set the wrong expectation out of the gate on sales. I never do. It's the golden rule in sales. Sell honestly. I don't know if you're going to convert this, right? Right. So in my perspective, go in and say, I don't know what to foresee, but I do think we can generate leads. Will these leads become appointments into paying customers? Depends on what you have done in the past, Mr. Business Owner. Have you not ever talked to your customer base before, and you only have 2 reviews? My expectation is going to be set properly, right? Now, if they come in and they've got like 2,000 reviews, they sell, 10, 15 appointments a day. Okay, fair enough. I'm going to just at least still set the expectation of I'm going to generate leads, but not sure what's going to happen next, right? Because I'm not building out a whole marketing play unless you're going to pay me for my marketing package. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to build out the system with HighLevel and all these things, and they're walking out of the door without even being able to pay $200, right? So that's my take on it, Justin. Okay, Ron, let's go with you, Ron Nemeth.
Hey, Paulson, thanks. The screen that was shown earlier for, how much to do on Instagram and Facebook DMs, pages, profiles, the LinkedIn 100 to 250 a day. What is a reasonable expectation to spend on a VA looking after that, and say the Google ads that you need? What should we expect to spend on something like that?
Yeah, good question. So one of the things that some of you know, I started a brand new agency in Toronto with one of my business partners. He came from the restaurant industry. Restaurant industry kind of tanked out, and we just literally launched a brand new agency about a month ago. And I'm doing it the Joel way, right? And I followed through and bought my list and brought in a VA. So I realized in the VA world, there's a lot of agencies that sell VAs too.
Right.
I wouldn't say one way or another. It's a bit pricey, but it depends on what you want to invest. But my VAs, I don't want my VAs to do multiple things. I don't. My cold email VA is going to do cold email all day long.
Right.
My
That's what I
Instagram
figured.
VA is going to do Instagram all day long. And there's different pricing around this, but most full-time VAs, I've never paid a VA more than $3 an hour. That's around the range I've always gotten. I've even gotten to $2.25 an hour, right? And you can find really quality people. The problem with VAs though is you've got to tread lightly on how you build systems, right? You have to really understand what their strengths and weaknesses are and spend time with them. Build out your SOPs, your project management, your asanas, and all these things the right way. You cannot just throw a VA at a task and expect them to just go run with it without you setting the right parameters. My VA, like I think I shared with you guys yesterday, I have some reporting parameters I've set. And I've hired VAs that already know how to do cold emailing, that already know how to do Instagram DMs, and they've already done it with other agencies. So I don't have to sit around and train them. I just give them access to everything and I'm gone. I'm not a big fan of taking a brand new VA that's never done this before and being the agency that trains them. I don't want to be that, right? I'm gonna always go with experience on this.
And do you say you dictate how many hours a day they're going to be at it, or do they?
I don't ever pay hourly, right? So the way I normally go about it is my threshold per day, if that's the right word. Miss VA, I want you to pound out at least 500 emails a day. I don't care how that happens. I don't. If you have a system and you can do this in 30 minutes, I don't care. Every single day, this is what I want. So I pay for results, not hours. Now, the way I compensate them is per hour, like meaning they get paid for 8 hours at $2.50 or $3 or $4 or $5. You want to lift them up as they grow, right?
Right.
But I don't pay outside of my 40 hours either, right? But I don't pay below 40 hours either, right?
Okay,
But
so as long as they get the work done,
the result has to be there every day.
yeah.
This is what happens, right?
Okay.
Every day, my Slack channel needs to go ding, ding, ding. Paulson, things that I did today. 500 emails out, 4 responses, uploaded to HighLevel. Great. We're having a great day. No problem. Oh, wow. You did that in your lunch break while you have 4 other jobs and you're watching your kids and family. I appreciate you making all those sacrifices. And you're able to do that in 30 minutes. I don't care. I'm going to pay you for 8 hours because that's what we set up, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So I pay for results. If I don't get results, I'm going to figure out what I can do for another month and I'm out. I give up on that, right?
Right.
And they typically, right out of the gate when somebody's a good player or not, or if they're trying to go around systems and, people set up screenshot monitoring and all the stuff. I kind of don't care. I just want results. and I want to be able to audit my results. I'm done.
Right.
Like that. My VAs, I think they probably on a weekly basis, I think most of them work less than 10 hours. I'm okay with that. It's a nice lifestyle job. Give them bonuses and everything. My results come every day on my Slack channel, though. There's no compensation there. That is a very disciplined thing, right? So,
Right.
yeah, I don't mean to beat the point to death, but you get what I'm saying. I get excited with this stuff, guys. I get excited because I did it the wrong way. I did it the hard way over 5, 6 years of doing this off of watching YouTube videos. Then I invested into all these courses and got outdated information and then implemented the wrong stuff and then built a bigger agency. I did all this the hard way, and I'm trying to show you how to do it the most easiest way possible by next week.
Well, one of the biggest points of clarity for me in the last couple of days was just how you actually go about getting any volume out in the emails. And I'm surprised that that's the way you have to go about it, by having these multiple Gmail accounts and that. You'd think there would be something better than that, but it seems to be the way you
There
have to do
is
it.
there are more complex systems. You can set up independent IPs in different time zones across the world and have your own independent servers, and
I just didn't
it's
realize it was
this.
so complicated to actually get that piece
Well,
of it
why
done.
is that, right? Yeah, it's because of regulation. It's because of, compliance and regulation and how
Yeah.
you got to go about it. And the seasons change in software and marketing all the time. The regulations, when the GDPR stuff was happening a couple of weeks, a couple of months ago, and Zuckerberg's on the stand, your ad account's going to get shut down pretty quickly, no matter what you do. So,
Yeah.
like, we just went through with the political landscape in US, we just went through tons of accounts across multiple agencies. I called Joel, hey, how many ad accounts did you get shut down? Yeah, dude, like 50, 60. I'm like, yeah, same here. We had well over 100 plus. It's all part of it. It's all part of it. So you have to know what happens in the landscape
Right.
and, build systems around it. Um, but yeah, it's too volatile to build anything around email.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that was a big mystery up until these last couple of days to me. So,
Well, that's all it takes. Now you know how to send out 100,000 emails.
yeah.
It's a lot of work to get there, but yeah.
The only other question is what's the Toronto agency promoting? What do you sell?
So the folks in Joel's group asked me the same thing. I don't want to intrude competition on myself, so I'm not even disclosing my niche.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
But it's something we've never done before. My partner, he came from the restaurant industry and was featured on all kinds of stuff. And I'm really just strategizing. I'm not. My focus is the HighLevel agency. We've got 42 people there and over close to 400 400 plus clients. My time is taken at HighLevel. This is more like a side hobby to just see and how things go, and
Right.
it's I enjoy it. That's what it is. Let's go with
Thanks.
yeah, Haria. How's it going?
Hey,
Hey.
Paul. Thank
Hey.
you very much. I really appreciate that you go through each and every person, and I don't feel like I will be left out. I know like I'll be getting the help and answers. So I'm in real estate niche. So when we talk about sending them some free offer or something valuable they can see before we offer them to work with us. So I'm just kind of very much confused about this. Like realtors, mostly not everyone is having a list. Secondly, if they do, the list is not valid, because if there's somebody is looking to buy, they will be buying in next 3 or so months. So that person will not be valid. If somebody is looking to list a home, that will not that. So I feel like their list will not be that active and valid, because people buy and sell within 3 months or so. So what should be the good offer from my side to give them to create some value before I ask them to work with me in this scenario? Because that offer, that 10 booked appointment and stuff, that doesn't apply, I feel.
I would say test it and then decide what happens, because I don't in the US market especially, most realtors have a fairly big pipeline. They don't if you're a realtor and you don't have more than 100 people in your prospecting, you're probably not a full-time realtor. You're probably doing this on the side, right? I've never heard anybody say that realtors don't have a list. They typically do, and typically not their own list. They scrape some random lead list. That's not a list. You want people that they've actually had sales conversations with, and that's the purity of a list for a realtor, right? Now, when it comes to them saying no, you don't know if they're going to say no. You have to test out every offer. Our offer that we're recommending may not apply to all industries or some scenarios, and we're showing you how to fish. We don't want to give you fish, right? We
Yeah.
want to show you how to do this because um, there is, and you have to be creative. How do you differentiate yourself? As much as we all love each other, right? How do you differentiate each other from the rest, right? Like we all have to figure that out for our own industry in real estate. And some people, you can have two people can have the same exact offer, but somebody will buy from me because they like the tonality of my voice. They like my demeanor. They like the way I post things on social media or whatever. It doesn't matter. People are going to gravitate towards you for who you are, not necessarily just your offer. Offer is going to help them engage with you, right? Whether that's the right offer or not, base it on the feedback of what happens. Because, I guarantee you, if you don't actually launch and just test it, you won't know the results, right? You won't know. So I recommend you testing it. So if you have to change up the offer and say, hey, I like to get you at least one closings this month,
Hmm.
what happens then? I think I asked Steph Burrell this yesterday. Steph, I don't know. Can you promise 3 closes next month, right? And that's gonna be that's a good marketing message. Whether they can do that or not, at least it gets you engaged and say, hey, I like to generate you 100 leads to get you that close, right? And then you do a bigger high level campaign if they have a list. So, and some people don't qualify for high level campaign. Maybe their list is just too small, but you got to think outside the box on all this.
Yeah, I just want to just say, like, I feel like giving something for free, especially in real estate niches, can be very much time taking and doesn't make sense. I just want to create something that is valuable, but
You
doing
should be
something
able to you should be able to fulfill what we talked about today in less than an hour.
yeah, I just don't want to spend so much time creating their emails and something like this. And yeah,
Well, no. Hold on.
for the high level campaign, because we are not doing any ad for them.
Right. So all you have to do is this. Go to your high level account. Let's say a realtor says yes to you, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Realtor, thanks for the opportunity. Can you send me a CSV file of your recent leads of any kind? Email it to me, right? Go to high level, create a sub account, upload this list, create one marketing message, one text message, blast away, done. The
Okay.
client doesn't even get high level access. This is a high level campaign that you're running just to earn their trust. You're not doing marketing for them. You're just going to show them your system and give them the idea of, here's how I can generate leads for you in the long run, right? This is it's really to prove you as a person and your agency.
And there can be one more thing. They might not be so much confident giving us their leads and email data at first place as well for
Go to the
this.
next person. Go to the next person. Next. I'm gonna keep going.
Okay.
Next. There's no. I'm okay with a no. I'm very okay with an educated no. Anytime in sales, right? If I jump on a call, how many of you guys have I got on a call with in marketplace, and I've said, hey, I don't think we're the right team for this project. I'm okay with that no. It's an educated no. I don't want to
Okay.
sell you. I don't want to sell you and say, hey, we can do this, and you're gonna adjust it to you, and it's like, oh crap,
No,
it's a
I don't
custom
want to do that.
project.
That's why, like, I just want to have like proper things and just duplicate that for everyone, just tweak a little bit.
Do not customize anything for clients anymore. I don't think you can scale an agency with custom projects, I promise you. If you can get away from custom and consulting, don't sell time. Custom and consulting is the biggest like prohibitors of scaling. Get away from that and sell productized services if you can, with pre-built offers, pre-built landing pages, pre-built systems. Click and go, click and go, click and go type of business is what really can scale. Any follow-up to that?
No, yeah, like I have not started doing for others. I did for my own business. So I'm just looking to run some big campaigns for first-time home buyers. So I will be seeing how I can duplicate and then having that experience and everything written, and then I can just use for the other realtors too.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you could. You could. The best teacher is the action, the work, you know. Um, but thanks for your questions though.
Thank
Let's
you.
see.
Very helpful.
Anybody else? Anybody else that have a question? I know a few of you had raised your hands. And Peter, go ahead. Peter, you know, every time you do that, I think you're saying bye because I
Yeah,
know
I
you're
know.
in Europe. I always feel like you're just saying being respectful and just courteous and saying bye because I know you're always checking into these calls and you're in Spain.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I remember I had this question I wanted to ask you yesterday, and I just plain forgot it. And so, recap. I think it was day 2 that Joel spoke a little bit about just what you spoke for 2 seconds about, putting consulting into the business, because people businesses are the business people are really bad business people out there. So they're not very good at generating new leads and business and so forth. And when they get them, they aren't really that good to actually take care of them. So that's where we step in. Yeah. The problem is I've been working in marketing about 25 years. So if you just let me speak, I can speak your bloody ears off, but I will never get paid for that. So my consulting days is officially over. I'm sitting on that because it really, really just hurts. And they will never get happy about it anyway because they can't suck it up. So what I'm after here is, what was that Joel was speaking about? Is that the next level, or what is it? Because he actually said that he liked to mix in a little bit of consulting to help the clients to do better, not just marketing, but actually helping them do better. The problem is, how can I get that to be a shelf product? Something that you just, oh yeah, product A. There you go. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, so the way we would do consulting at the high level agency is through our account managers, right? So you have to buy labor to execute that out. As a solopreneur, I don't, I don't know if you are or not, or have a team, but as a one man show when I started off, and I'm trying to, if you're under like 100K a month, you're still a small business.
Yeah.
You really are, because you're essentially selling time, no matter
Yeah.
how you look at it. So I don't ever recommend consulting unless you get to a point where you have a small team of account managers that can actually do essentially limited consulting, which is more of a workshop type of setting. Hey,
Yeah.
would you like, kind of like Agency Jumpstart, right? How many of
Yeah.
you guys
Mhm.
have bought Agency Jumpstart? You're boxed into 5 hours, no matter what. I know for a fact that it's not ongoing consulting. And that's how you got to sell consulting paired up when you do your SaaS offers. And I know that's a little irrelevant here, but when you do your SaaS offer, you're essentially doing boxed out consulting, which is, hey Juan, I'd like to spend 1 hour with you to set this up. That's consulting. Now, a lot of us in the olden days, we buy consulting for a ongoing relationship for 6 months at 5K a piece, and that's not good consulting and marketing. That's not a scalable way to build business today. So so Joel is talking about, and what I'm talking about, and how do you sprinkle in consulting, right? You
Yeah.
sprinkle in with limited consulting in like, hey, we typically charge you for this, but we like to just give you 2 hours of consulting for your team just to go over sales,
Yeah.
right? Let's go over your copywriting together. And we actually used to fly into their locations. Like I remember flying in all kinds of places, walking in, and we'll do in-person consulting, and I'm out. I'm done. Back
Yeah.
on Chicago O'Hare and back to Texas every time. Like I'm done after that day, right? So it has to be boxed in or limited in some capacity. Otherwise, it's a very laborious intensive thing. And it's hard to close as well properly. So products are one call closed, services are two call closes, consulting is typically three call closes, and it's not easy. It takes an advanced salesperson to close consulting consistently. You can do it here and there, but it's not easy, and delivery is not easy. And it's not. How do you even
No.
how do you even figure out a scalable system around it? Hey, be careful of what you talk about versus what you talk about versus what you talk about, my consulting team. It's not going to work, right? So
No.
agencies like ourselves, we need to think more assembly line basis, more productized services. That's why SaaS has a play, because previously the only SaaS that you were able to provide was an education course with a
Yeah.
downsell or an upsell. Today, you can sell this high level system, right? One 30-minute session with you in the beginning, I'll set up and I'm out. You want to cancel? No problem. Just click cancel. On to
Yeah.
the next. Do it yourself, right? So don't get that mixed up even when you sell that for consulting and SaaS. But hopefully that clarifies it, Peter.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.
Let's go back to Christian. Hey guys, I'm gonna do a hard close at in about 7 minutes. It's 3:53 here in Texas, so I'm gonna call it a day at 4 o'clock. But
Cool.
Christian, let's go back to you, buddy.
Cool. Thank you. So I just had a couple questions about VAs because, like, man, I know I'm not gonna be able to do all this prospecting. Like, personally, like, I'm gonna like, it's just not gonna work. So I'm gonna get a VA. And my question is, how many do you recommend that I get? Because, like, for example, I think you mentioned having one per task. So, like, for email marketing, I imagine, like, for the Facebook, I'm gonna have to join Facebook groups and all that. So, like, one for like messaging into Facebook groups during the content that I've created.
Right out of the gate, my recommendation, and this is what I did with just my Toronto agency, the only VA I hired was cold email person. That's it. That was the first hire. She did cold email all day long. Then I rolled in paid ads right out of the gate, right? So right in the beginning, cold email. Now that I have paid ads, guess what I'm doing? Now I'm recruiting for a new VA to manage all my LinkedIn stuff. I'm going to recruit another one a little later for Instagram. But it's hard to just, you cannot throw all these tasks at one VA. I don't recommend it. I recommend you just deciding which channel. Like, let's say you're going after influencers of some kind. I'd rather get my Instagram VA first because I understand an industry well, that they're all hanging out on Instagram versus me doing cold email. Right? So depending on your industry and where they hang out, like dentistry, I know some of you guys are in here and you know that I've had a dental agency in the past. Facebook groups, man, they hang out in there. You better be in kudos with the Facebook leader, whoever runs that group, but they hang out and they're active there. Instagram is another great one, right? But they're not that responsive on cold email. They're not, right? But they are very responsive on paid ads, right? So you got to understand your industry and how they and where they hang out. But depending on that, I recommend you hiring that first person. Probably will cost you less than $400 a month full time.
Okay. So Bolton, I gotta be honest. I was like a general agency, and after watching the video on niching down, I just kind of like chose kitchen remodeling. I just kind of like pulled it out of the hat and took action. Don't know what your thoughts are on it, but like, so for this VA, I guess I would imagine just go with Facebook. I don't know how having her doing cold emails. I don't know the industry all that well. So I don't know. Or would you recommend?
You have to you have to reach. So one of the first things that I did when I first started off in dentistry was reach out to another dental marketer, and I said, hey man, I don't know anything about fulfillment. Could you help me do fulfillment? And can I watch you do fulfillment? Right. And that's how I learned fulfillment. Right. In your industry, you're brand new in there. Find another marketing person that's already doing this and just say, hey, listen, I want to just be your sales rep for now. I want to just learn this industry. Can I work with you somehow? Right. That's how I did it. That's how I invaded into dentistry hardcore and scaled a fairly good size agency when everybody else was struggling, is by collaborating with other people. And I collaborated with dental practices, their consultants, all these different, I went lateral on my approach, right? And I recommend you doing the same thing. I already know kitchen remodeling, home services, they're terrible operators. They're solopreneurs, right? They have a front desk that does 5 things. They're not sales oriented front desks, but it's easy to get them leads. Everybody wants their kitchen remodeled, right? So it's there's something nasty about every industry. You got to pick and choose your battle, but you've got to do some research on the industry to really understand. But uh, what I recommend is choosing one channel. In the ideal world, let's say we do a full build out. I will finish building out my sales department for this brand new agency in the next 2 months. In the first 3 months, phase one, quarter one, my decision is we're going to build out the sales department, right? That's all I'm focused on. Within the first 3 months, I want to have at least 6 cold channels running, 3 paid ads running. That gives me enough volume and numbers to say I can comfortably hire 2 closers.
Okay.
I have 1 person doing fulfillment right now. That's it, right? 3 people doing cold outbound. 1 is doing Instagram, 1's doing cold email, and I got 1 closer just fielding, barely fielding, right? But that's how you have to look at it. You got to look at it at a systematic way, right? You cannot plan based on you. You can't, right? You won't be able to scale unless you just want to stay at 5 clients and you want to do consulting and you're happy with, probably even 20K a month. That's doable. You can do it. But my drive is too big. I get, so that's up to you. But some people want that, believe it or not. And they're content. They're happy with it. And I applaud them because they know what to do with their lives. They have a specific goal and it's impressive. And so based on your goals, you got to figure that out and how aggressive you want to go and build out what channel. But I recommend 1 at a time. Even internally, even internally when we assign projects, every person only works on 1 thing at a time, right? Any other further questions? Well, it's 4 o'clock, but Howard, is that you? Okay, yeah, go for it. Oh, you want to unmute yourself? Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so my offer is based around using Go HighLevel for lead response, the text messaging and email, as well as possibly leading with a database reactivation campaign. So what are your suggestions as far as email copy or messaging copy for that?
What industry are you going into? What's the niche that you picked?
Well, right now I'm hitting my warm list, so it's a variety of niches. I'm looking for a quick win here, but I'm basically focusing on roofing.
Yeah, I recommend you. I recommend you selecting a niche first before you do anything.
Okay, roofers.
Yeah, then if that's the case, I recommend you building out all your messages around roofers, your outbound, everything that you do. So what do roofers want, Howard? What do they typically want?
They want appointments, new roofing jobs. They don't really want repairs, even though half of the repairs turn out to be new roofs, but they want
my copy. My copy would say, are you tired of doing repairs? I can help you get total roofing job in the next 10 days.
All right, well, should I be committing to one? I know their lead
100%.
response sales systems are pretty poor. So that's why, and they don't really have a reactivation because when someone buys a roof, they don't need another roof for a long time. So it's mainly lead response would be my offer with them.
I would say test it, right? And figure out what they want. I do know that roofing, it's actually a complex business because roofing has a solar play. They have like, repair play. They have contractors. They have plumbing that they do, HVAC that they do. Most roofers are general contractors that are slinging their contracts. They're not actually doing a lot of the work. So you got to figure out who is it that you're catering to. You cannot walk in. So Howard, you brought up a good point. If you're gonna sell lead responses, right? Is that your
Yeah.
thing? If that's the case, I don't think you'll be successful. Here's why. If I were to go in and tell Juan, hey, I can do Facebook ads, what is he gonna feel? Okay, cool. I can do Facebook ads too. So can everybody else. So can a 10-year-old that watched the YouTube video. It doesn't matter. Everybody can do it. Anybody can respond to a lead, right? So
Yeah.
I don't want to sell transportation. I want to sell destination, right?
Well, I was going to
Anytime.
bolt it on with a, lead gen, be it Google ads or Facebook ads, and bolt on the lead response system to make it a system.
You asked your question around the messaging around how you sell these systems,
Yeah.
right? The point that I'm making is like when I ask a marketer typically, what do they do for a living? They're gonna tell me they do Google Ads, Facebook, website design, or SEO.
It's the vehicle.
It's the vehicle they're talking about. They never tell me, oh, I take roofers into XYZ. What is that destination, right? Hey, I scale roofing businesses, right? I work with roofers to scale their businesses to 100K a month. That's what I do for a living. I partner up with roofing companies. That's how you have to think when you write these messages. And it's this is a business development skill. This is what business development folks do for a living, right? They come up with brand positioning ideas. They connect different ecosystems of how they can collaborate together. That's the difference between a business developer versus a closer, right? I'm the business development person for HighLevel. What do I think about every single day? How can I take all these different ecosystems and figure out where we connect, right? That's my thought process. A lot of people assume I'm in sales. I'm not really in sales. I'm in business development, right? We don't really need sales. The thing sells itself, right? So in your scenario, the same exact thing applies. You cannot go in and sell, hey, roofer, I'll generate leads for you and respond with leads. Like that doesn't create any juices flowing. Like it's not sexy enough for me as an offer. I need to go in and say, hey, can you take on 3 new roofs next month? Yeah, heck yeah, I can. Oh, cool. Let's get on an intro call. Done. My outbound is working at scale at that point, right? That's that simple, right? When you get on a call, that's the only objective of your outbound is to get on a call, right? Nothing else. On your call, you're going to educate them on the destination you can take them. On your demo, you're going to demonstrate the transportation of where you're taking them.
All right, I like those analogies.
Does that make sense though, right?
Yeah.
Like that so in my intros and my messages outbound anywhere, I just want to get on a call with you. That's it. That's it. Like I rather have a vague message and they get on a call versus super concise specific messages and nobody's even responding, right? That's where Joel broke it down, like conversation starter versus direct response. if I don't want my salespeople to be wasting their time at all and they're really busy already, I'm going to go into direct response. If they're not busy, I'm going to use my conversation starters because I want them to get going. I want them to just do activities, at least get going, right? So it's just a matter of turning the faucet on or off and filtering the faucet however you want to. So yeah, roofers. There's plenty of agencies going after roofers every single day. They're doing it with that result, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
But guys, I appreciate you all being in here and hanging out with me. And hopefully this session has been great. First 5 days was super awesome. We've had tremendous positive feedback from this. We're going to start back up Monday, guys. If you have not watched any of the series up until today, please go back, watch day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Today's will be up in the next 4 hours with our production team, but please watch it. Next week will not make any sense if you don't go back and watch those webinars and take action. Next week will be very confusing if you don't do that. We're going to go into paid ads. We want you to run ads by Tuesday. Sounds crazy for your agency, but we are going to run ads by Tuesday. Right? So get your mind right, get your framework right, how you're going to go into sales and all these things. Don't worry too much about fulfillment, guys. I know where you guys are. You're thinking about fulfillment. Well, what if this all actually works? Crap, what am I going to do? Right? How am I going to fulfill all these people that are waiting for me to do business? Don't think about that. Just stay poised. Work on sales, focus on your sales departments today. That's it. Don't worry about your fulfillment department. That's coming. It's coming, right? But focus on your sales. But have a good rest of your afternoons. Make sure you drink water, eat lunches, get sleep, spend time with family. Business is all secondary, guys. You gotta take care of yourself, okay? See ya.